Hey, I'm Matthew Giorgio. One of the amazing powers of using educational games and simulations to learn and to teach is assessment. Assessment is automated, which makes it really convenient and very targeted for instructors and facilitators when monitoring their learners. But as a learner, the assessment is also competency based. So rather than just some number of a pass or fail, it actually gives you a detailed assessment of what you're doing well and what you're not doing well. Let me show you exactly how this works in this GoVenture entrepreneurship business simulation that I'm running here. So in this particular simulation, I'm running a business, and there's different types of businesses I can run, from department stores to businesses like Amazon or Starbucks. I'm running a casual restaurant business. I can see my various products here of hamburgers and French fries and chicken nuggets and salads and so on. I can see different inventory and suppliers where I can order inventory from. I can manage employees. Here's all my job applicants that I can hire. And I have to do everything from managing cash flow. I can even take out loans and sell shares in my business. It's most comprehensive, most realistic small business startup and operation simulation in the world. So let me show you how we actually do the assessment. So as you're playing the simulation, everything you do is tracked and monitored and measured. Here's what we call the performance report looks like. So if you want to gauge your performance overall, you can access this report, which is the same report that your instructor or facilitator would have access to. So on the top, we have a summary table that shows you how many days you've played, or simulation days as we call them, you've played, what your overall skill score. So that's the underlying measurement of this whole thing, is we take all the different competencies and the metrics, and we combine them into what we describe as a skill score. And every simulation is kind of different, but this particular one, we use a skill score. We can see our financial numbers here: our revenue, expenses, cost of goods, net profit margin, and our health. And health means actually our simulated physical health, because if we're working too hard and things are happening to us, it actually impacts our health. So that's another reason why this simulation is so realistic, as we take into account things like that. This next table shows us a summary of our location. So one of the cool things about this simulation is you can actually franchise your business into multiple locations. So you can track how well each particular location is doing using these top line financial numbers. Now let's get into the meat of this, the skill score. So our skill score, we actually have a percentage from 0 to 100. And then we also give you a star rating, just because people are so familiar with star ratings these days. It's a nice summary way to see how you're doing. And notice now we have about 10 different metrics, high-level metrics, and then sub-metrics under those, in which we measure your performance. So we've got finance and leadership and sales, marketing, operations, and employees. And so then if we look at finance, we measure your profit and your profit per day, your revenue per day, your profit margin. In leadership, it's your business reputation, your personal health. In sales, it's customer served and customer satisfaction. In marketing, it's brand equity and advertising effectiveness. In operations, it's capacity planning in terms of your site equipment and scheduling. It's your inventory availability. So are you ordering inventory efficiently? Are you spoiling too much inventory? And your employees, it's morale, productivity, and turnover rate. And you'll see each one of these metrics is measured and scored, and then ultimately gives you a summary, a 0, 1, 2, 3 star review, but then also an overall score, which leads into your skill score. As I scroll further down, you can see I have access to business reports. So myself as a player or my instructor or facilitator can bring up detailed financial reports and take a deeper dive in any particular area of the business. Like here, we have a balance sheet. We have income statement or P&L. We have cash flow reports. Everything and anything a real-world business owner would need to help them be successful is in the simulation. But this is the power of learning through simulation. It's not just net profit. It's much more than that. It's all about the balance of your business and all the areas that you can try to be successful. And one of the other challenging things about real-world business, as it is in our simulation, is sometimes there's always a drawback, right? There's a consequence. So, if you try to maximize your financial profitability, it might actually negatively impact things like employee morale, because maybe you're not paying enough for your employees, or enough attention to your employees, or helping them in what they need, or maybe your operations, you're not taking care of your operations well and capacity planning. So in the real world of business, it's all a balance and compromise, and there's always consequences to whatever decision you make, and that's reflected in the simulation and in your scoring method. I'm Matthew Giorgio.